Hello people of the internets. This is a little special broadcast that I'm putting up on my YouTube channel, and hoping that it gets shared around because it's got an important message here. I want to share some comments that people have made to me and about me whenever I'm appearing in public like this. People say things like, "Excuse me, are you the manager here?" I always laugh at that one. "Oh, well you must be the organizer here at this event." Eh. Oh, are you a business owner? You must own your own business. Oh, you must be the parent of this one here. Oh, excuse me, but could I have a moment with you to talk about some philanthropy and some charities that I've been trying to organize here, and lots of comments like that. And right down to the whole, well, my friend is really shy. She'd really like to talk to you. The way you're dressed makes it look like you would be a really good dancer. All kinds of things like that. So that's whenever I'm out around town, dressed like this. Dressed for business, dressed for Latin dance, dressed for however you want to look at it. But let me tell you that looks aren't everything. So with that, I'm going to switch it over to this guy, and you're going to see what you think, right? Yeah, because you'll let me know. So, what do you think of me now? Yeah, that's right. I'm dressed with a helmet, riding jacket. Let me tell you about the few comments that I've heard whenever I'm dressed like this. I'm called a bastard. I'm called a gangbanger. I'm called a thug. I'm told that I'm a waste of society. I'm a waste of life. People ask if my parents are proud. They ask if I ever had ambition in my life, if I ever tried to do anything. They say that I hope you don't breed. That's the kind of comments that I get. That's the kind of respect that I get on the road whenever I'm driving and I got no cage around me. This is how I look, and that's what you have to say to it. Yeah, I guess I could be angry and bitter about the polar opposite reaction that I get from people. But you get kind of used to it whenever you live in a sort of a biker lifestyle, as society likes to say. So I would rather educate you than to just rip on you for half an hour. But things like the sunglasses, you know what, even if you're driving a car, you should be wearing sunglasses if it's a bright sunny day. You could save a life if you can actually see where you're going and what's coming up ahead. All you see is glare, you're a danger to everybody, including yourself. So yeah, bikers wear the sunglasses because, well, a lot of helmets don't have tinted visors built in. If you want one with a tinted visor built in, you're going to pay almost twice the price. And then the outer visor on the helmet, yeah, you can get a tinted one to replace the factory installed clear visor that's on most helmets. But then what do you do at nighttime? Ride around with your visor up all the time and the wind blowing in your eyes? Well, guess what? You're still going to have to wear glasses, only instead of sunglasses, you're going to be wearing clear lens glasses or goggles. Now, the gloves. The gloves, yeah, they're leather. They're usually dark because it's cheaper to get black or brown leather than it is to get, I don't know, fuchsia. Although you can get fuchsia gloves. I've seen them just today in a bike shop. But yeah, the armor on them, you probably don't think of this in a car, but how many times have you been going down the highway and you hear a loud thunk and you see a chip in your windshield and it spreads into a crack? Well, that's a rock that came off of the truck or car ahead of you, came bouncing down the highway, went up into the slipstream of your car and hit your windshield. Imagine that hitting your knuckle. It'd probably break your hand. That's why the gloves are worn. Okay? The helmet. Yeah, a lot of people are riding with full face helmets, especially in the cooler parts of the year. Because, well, while we wear these bandanas or dickies, not everybody wears them, but we wear them because our throat's exposed. And if you ever stuck your hand out the window going down the highway, you realize it gets cold pretty quick. Imagine that being your whole body. So, the full face helmet offers some wind protection right over your face. And it's also heavily insulated, like a helmet should be, so it adds some extra warmth there too. Also, it's approved for face-on crashes, so if you do get in a crash, there's a chance that you might be able to save some of this for your family to look at before you get buried. So That's why. It's not because bikers are out to commit a crime. They're not trying to disguise themselves. I know that that point was raised recently in a video that went viral around the world, and news agencies around the world picked up on it, about a bunch of bikers that surrounded an SUV in New York, and they started pounding on it and everything. Oh, well, they were disguised. No, no, they weren't. They were out for a ride, and they just happened to be dressed that way because that's how you dress when you ride. Another thing to know, bikers really aren't as big as you think they are. They're really not. The jackets we wear, like this thing here and this thing over here and down here, that's all body armor. Yeah, sorry to ruin it for all the guys that were trying to pick up ladies by being all big and tough. Yeah, it's body armor. If we go down, we've got actual padding in a proper riding jacket. So it might help keep some of us together. So that's the nuts and bolts of why we dress the way we do and why we look the way we do. Aside from that, what I can tell you is that, yeah, I ride. I got all the gear. I look just like the guys in the video from New York. That video upset me because instantly they started calling everybody thugs and gangsters and all the stuff that I've heard about myself. Then it comes out that there's one cop, then two cop, and then maybe more and everything. Well, let me tell you something. Riders are people of all stripes. Myself, I occupied a Navy uniform for many years. And now I'm a father. I'm starting my own business. I've worked in administrative offices. I've worked in factories, warehouses. I've done construction. I've done custom work. I'm a musician. I'm a son. I'm a brother. I'm an uncle. Yeah, I'm all those things. And so's every other biker, really. So keep your eyes on the road. Keep looking out for us, because we're looking for you. And don't think that we're a menace or anything. Myself, I've actually gone to accident scenes, pulled people out of cars. I volunteered to take care of kids. I've volunteered to go into seniors' homes. I've done other charity work. I've been a union delegate. I've always stood for human rights and labor rights, both in my backyard and around the world. So, yeah, I guess I'm just one of those gang-banging thugs that doesn't care. I have, no use in today's society, apparently. So, if you can take anything away from this, know that the person that you're trying to give a hard time just might be the person that's trying to make it a little easier and a little better for you. So now we get to the part of the video where I discuss what caused me to put this video together. So, it is kind of an explanation of a biker's point of view on the backlash from the video that was released, showing the group of bikers in New York on a cruise together that went horribly wrong. It ended up going viral. Media sources around the world picked up on it, and it just totally flat out disgusted me, to be honest. So if you're selected for jury duty or anything, you might want to shut the video off at this point, because I'm going to get into my opinion on it, which could sway your opinion, or maybe you don't care about your civic duty. But so the issue with the video is that, to be honest, yeah, okay, if the bikers were out there speeding, if they were doing stunts on the highway and everything, and the police want to fine them for that, I'm sure every biker there would agree to it. They'd be like, fine, yeah, I did that. That's what I did. But the problem is, that's not what's on the video. What's on the video is, apparently it picks up after a point where an SUV got ahead of the pack. It kind of pulled off in front of the pack, and allegedly the sunroof was open, and somebody in the SUV throws a water bottle out. It comes back and goes into the group of bikers. Now that can cause a total catastrophe on two wheels. Not just from hitting you, but if it gets under a bike, spits out from a tire, hits another bike, it can just cause total chaos on the highway. And it's not environmentally conscious. Come on now. I know it's New York, but still, it's also past the year 1985. So, anyhow, the the SUV continues on its course. The bikers decide that they're going to get around it. At the same time, they're trying to get around this SUV because apparently he's slowing them down and throwing stuff out the windows at them. They decide to go around him and get ahead of him because he's just an asshole. They want to get away from this jerk, carry on with their day. They're on their way to an impromptu motorcycle show. It's kind of an annual event, but not regularly announced, not in any sort of mainstream sense anyway. So they're going around at the same time. One of the bikers says, hey, this guy's being a jerk on the highway. It might be something worthwhile catching on camera. I'm going to turn my camera on. I got one on my helmet. So he goes and turns the camera on. And away he goes. The next thing that he records is a biker that's going up ahead and goes into the lane in front of the SUV. Apparently, he then realized where he was. He was right in front of the guy that's being an asshole. He's looking back, allegedly to see an opening in the other lane to cut over back into where he was, and that's why he's slowing down, looking back. Anyway, the only issue that I have with that is, in my experience riding, when a biker does pull up in front of somebody that's in the middle of a pack of bikers, it usually is to create a rolling roadblock. That's not to intimidate or to harass the person that's driving the car. It's actually for the safety of everybody around. They're trying to get the car to slow down, stay back a little bit so the rest of the bikers can get around, get ahead, and then carry on their way. Everybody can go along in peace. It's just to ensure that everybody is safe during this whole exchange of traffic flow. Either way, he's slowing down and the SUV is not. Now, I don't know if the SUV sped up or if he's continuing at the same pace, but he certainly wasn't trying to stop. And he didn't give any room to stop neither. He was right up behind that bike and just bang, right into it. So, with that, it creates total calamity because it's a tight traffic situation. He's just hit somebody on the road. They're all trying to figure out what's going on with the accident, and in the video you can't really see exactly what happens in that specific moment because the guy recording continues on ahead and stops and then looks back. So as he looks back, you realize they've got bikes out in front of the SUV. There's other bikers coming around. They're telling the guy, shut the truck off. Stop it, shut the truck off. Apparently there's a biker underneath. And so they're trying to get this guy to stay there. They're calling the police, they're getting him to stay there, they're trying to get him to shut the truck off, they're trying to see who all's hurt, what all damage is done and everything. And that's when he, supposedly in fear of the safety of him and his family, panics, throws it into gear, runs over the bikes ahead of him, and does whatever damage he can do on the way out of there, and continues to run. He then gets stopped later, and the bikers that did give chase end up coming around him. One opens the door to try and get him out or shut the truck off or do whatever he can do to just get this crazy weird guy that likes to run bikers down to stop where he is and wait for the police. Off the side of the camera there's a guy that just starts coming into frame. I think this is the point. I know the media talks about the downtown scene, but I think this is the point where they're actually trying to slash his tires, because I'd be doing the same thing. The guy comes over off the right side of the screen when you're watching the video, and the chase ensues again, and I think he actually was, it looked like he had something in his hand, possibly a knife or something. He probably was trying to slash the tires. And bikers do carry knives quite routinely because it's a useful tool to fix your bike on the side of the road, so yeah. Anyhow, the chase ensues again. He gets into downtown, and this is where the bikers do get him cornered because he gets stuck in New York traffic, which anybody that's ever been through New York or anybody that lives in New York, you know. You get cornered in traffic, you're not moving for a long time. So the bikers end up getting around him. They smash out the windows, they haul him out, and apparently lay a beating on him. A lot of bikers say, well deserved. But at the same time, laying a beating on him is no better than what he did to the bikers down on the road. Because that's called vigilante justice. He had a problem with the bikers. He perceived them as thugs and gangsters and blasted that through the media. And in fact, the media perpetuated that and continues to perpetuate that, which is why I made this video. But the fact is, that's not the case. You see, riders in that group were found out to be police officers. I have no doubt that there was doctors, lawyers, business owners as well in there, just like the guy that was driving the SUV was a business owner. So, because he's a business owner out for a drive with his family, doesn't absolve him of all responsibility or make it impossible for him to commit crimes. He actually did run people down. He actually did flee a scene. He actually did flee again from citizen custody. he he just kept running from it. He knew he was in trouble. And he wasn't scared of the bikers. He was scared of the justice system that would catch up with him. If he had stayed on scene and had have taken care of things responsibly, he knows he would have been found to be responsible for the accident, possibly even charged with attempted murder or assault with a deadly weapon, vehicular assault, something like that. He knew that he was probably going to get criminal charges that could put him away for a while, and he didn't want to do that. But he should have understood the risk. Because whenever he was riding right up on the ass of that guy on the bike, whenever he was throwing things out the windows and everything, he was creating a risk to himself right then and there. The only danger on that highway to the driver of the SUV was he himself, not the other bikers. They wanted to get away from him. They were the ones running from him. And as far as the distress to his child, the whole menacing to a minor thing, I'm pretty sure it was pretty distressful to the little toddler in the back seat whenever Daddy ran over a biker and then fled the scene running over more bikes. So I don't think that at all these bikers were committing any menacing acts. Vigilante justice, yes, but as far as any sort of menacing to his family, no. In fact, they took them out of the vehicle and removed them from the scene to keep them safe. There was no harm done to them, by their own admission. His own wife says she was fine, upset, shaken, shocked by the whole event, but otherwise unharmed. And that's because the bikers knew who was responsible. And although they did take matters into their own hands, at the same time, you gotta wonder, what's good for the goose is good for the gander, right? So maybe he got what he deserved. Maybe criminal charges on both sides should be dropped and it should be just handled in civil court for any sort of medical expenses incurred by the biker that's left paralyzed, the biker with the broken legs, other people with damages to their vehicles, bikers and passerbys. Remember, in the video, there's a van also in there. He got hit with debris. So, in any event, try to ride safe. Try to show respect for people out there. Whether you're on 2 wheels, 3 wheels, 4 wheels, or whatever. Ride safe, and I hope to see you out there, and hope to see some interesting comments on this. I hope this sparks some conversation and enlightens some people in the way they thought about bikers before. And we're people too, and we care about you, so keep an eye out for us. Show some love. Thanks.